So hey guys, my name is Aditya Dholkia. I'm All India Rank 4 in GATE 2018 in Electrical Engineering Department. Currently, I'm pursuing my Masters in Indian Institute of Science here in Bangalore in a specialization of electrical engineering itself. So I'm here to tell you something and make you aware about especially the post GATE since the GATE is just elapsed 1 week before. So we'll wait for a few people to join, then we'll start. Going on to the comment till that time, Ishan has asked that is it possible to get into IIT or NIT at 8,000 rank? Ishan, definitely you can get into NITs since you have mentioned that it doesn't matter whether good or bad. See, it's not like purely dependent as far as IITs are concerned. It's not like purely dependent upon rank. It's once you get through the call, it even matters that how you perform in the interview. So just make sure that you perform good in the interview. And NITs, yeah, definitely you fill the form and let's see which NIT you get into. All the best. So finally, beginning with the post-gate preparation and what to do actually after the gate examination is over, I'll take you through my journey that what actually I did throughout that as soon as the gate got over. So as you all know, it all starts with form filling, especially that is the must thing you need to do if you want to get into any of the PSU or IITs. So what I would recommend is that you fill all the forms irrespective of the rank that you hold. See, if you are not filling any of the forms as of now, and ultimately if you are regretting it once you get the result in your hand that I did not fill this thing and I would have been able to get into this, then it is of no use after the time is elapsed. So you get me right. So what I suggest is that you fill all the forms right now and just wait for the results. Since the results are not yet out, you wait for the result and let's see which PSU or IIT you get into. And regarding the interviews, I would like to tell that, see, interviews, as far as the PSUs are concerned, it's like 85 or 75% weightage is there on the gate score, and just 15% or 25% weightage is there on the interviews or let's say GDPI. IOCL, as I gave IOCL interview, so I know that there is a group discussion and a group task involved in IOCL, which weights around 5% or 10%, and the rest 5% or 10% is there for the interview. So if you hold a good rank, you need to be. It'll be a very easy task for you to get through PSUs. But if you are having a average rank, let's say around 200 or 250, try to perform as good as you can in the interview section, so that you get full marks out of it and you will be able to compete with the toppers who are within the 100 rank. So interview, I mean, whatever the questions that are asked in the interview, there are two sections. One section is of HR, in which they ask you questions that are you comfortable with the location with which you are getting posted to, or let's say they'll ask you some questions such as what is your family doing, or where are your parents right now, and are they comfortable with you joining this PSU, or let's say they'll ask you why this PSU. And as far as my interview was concerned in IOCL, I'll tell you, they asked me that where are your parents right now and are you comfortable going to any location. So I basically come from Gujarat, and there are many locations which are there of IOCL in Gujarat. So I told them that, sir, I am comfortable with any location, but as far as the time period I'll be connected to IOCL, that will be a very long period, and I can expect myself to be going back to my state, which is actually the only PSU which is possible for which it is possible for me to go into Gujarat. So that is one thing that you can tell, that see, this money is good, or let's say you can say that location is, I can dream of going back to my own location after let's say 5 years or 10 years, like that. So that are the questions that will be considered in HR. The second question, the technical part, since you have cracked GATE with a good rank, assuming that you definitely will get a call into it. So you are almost comfortable with all the technical questions that you're going to face. So it's not like very difficult questions which are going to be asked. There will be logical questions. Very few questions will be there which will require a seriously pen and paper to solve. As far as IOCL, BHEL are concerned, they'll not give you questions which will require some mathematical solving or anything. You have already proved yourself that you are able to solve in the gate examination. So you don't need to worry about that. The only questions that are going to be asked are the logical ones. So you don't need to worry about it. Let's say IOCL was there and electrical engineering. I was asked some question about a simple transformer was given, some galvanometer was given, a DC supply was given, and they asked me that what was the deflection. So you don't require any pen and paper to solve that question. It's just that you will be able to answer it analytically without any kind of pen paper, and that's fine for you. Other interviews that I gave was one of the interviews that I gave was of BHEL. So BHEL interview was again around 10 to 15 minutes. They made me comfortable by asking me my introduction, and later they asked me one or two technical questions. Then they started asking me that what are your interests apart from academia. So I told them, sir, I'm inclined towards sports as well a bit. So they told me regarding what sport, and they entered into that. So it's not like pure technical interview. You need to be just comfortable and be yourself in the interview. You don't need to be something that impresses the interviewer or something like that. They have faced 100 more students than what we have seen around. So it's like you don't need to impress anyone by making them like I'm this thing or I'm that thing. You just be yourself, be calm, and that's it. You'll be able to crack your interview very easily if you stay yourself. One more interview that I gave and that I really felt that was really good and on a tougher range was the BRC interview. See, BRC, I'll tell you the whole process how it goes. BRC recruits based on gate entry as well as their own examination they hold. So if you clear the examination, then also you're eligible for the interview. And if you go through gate, also they have some gate score cut off around 810 as far as the last 2 years are concerned. So once you get through once you get through the examination or the cutoff as far as gate was concerned, you are through to the interview. And BARC interview is like a very pure technical interview. They won't even ask you even two or three HR questions. They'll just ask you to introduce yourself so that you become comfortable. And I'll tell you the back how it goes. They ask you 4 or 5 different subjects to note down. Let's say you say, as far as electrical is concerned, I'll tell you. Let's say I told power electronics, power systems, control systems, networks, or let's say if someone is comfortable with that, you can say power systems, machines as well. So out of those 4 or 5 subjects, they'll pick up any one subject and they'll ask you questions from that for around 10 to 15 minutes. So those 10 to 15 minutes will be totally dedicated to that one particular subject. Once you are through from that subject, then they'll go for another subject which you have told. So it will be like continuously 15 minutes one subject, 15 minutes another subject. That will continue around for an hour. So that was really a good interview. So if at all you are not planning to go into BARC, I would recommend you to give the interview, because that interview will help you to crack other interviews which you are going to give. So definitely BARC is a good option for the persons who are willing to join. ISRO is also one company which actually does not focus upon the gate result. It takes its own examination. So ISRO, if at all you are not able to get a good rank or maybe not that good gate score in the gate examination that you gave just now, you can go through that as well. And the examinations of ISRO as well. ISRO and PRL exams are usually combined. So you can opt for both, although their vacancies are pretty less, but still you can go for it. And the ISRO examination is not that difficult. They have just 1 mark or 3 mark question as far as I remember, but the time limit is pretty short. So just make sure that you attempt most questions with a good accuracy, because that is required in such examinations, in the competitive examinations. The questions that are asked, they are purely technical in these examinations. In the BARC examination, as far as the ISRO examination, similar to gate you can compare, but a level may differ. It is not like always the gate examination is equivalent to the examinations held by ISRO and BARC, because as you all know that gate examination 2019 and electrical engineering was also not that difficult. So we cannot compare that examination to this thing, BARC or ISRO examination. So that is one aspect that you can also look upon if you are not that good if you are not expecting a good score in gate examination. And one more thing that I would like to talk about is that many people ask that what is the ideal time to start preparing for GATE? So the thing is that, see, depends upon your college a lot and how your base fundamentals are already. Some people require around only 6 months to prepare for the GATE and they even score good rank. And for some, their fundamentals are a bit on the weaker side. So you cannot directly compare person to person. That's what I would say. But trust on your own capabilities and know yourself first of all. You cannot just look around someone and tell that, okay, he did in 6 months, so I'll also be able to do in 6 months, or he required 1 more year, or let's say 2 more years, so I'll also require 1 or 2 more years. So don't just feel and look don't just feel depressed or let's say over expressive in that sense, and that looking at some other persons you determine your own capabilities. Just look at how you are and what your capabilities are, and you decide your preparation time, that when you need to prepare. So that is one thing. On an average, I would say that you should start preparing an year before, to be on the safer side. See, because there are 10 subjects in an average for every subject, every department, and as far as electrical is concerned, including maths, there are around 11 to 12, and every subject is on a tougher side. So you just need to prepare and solve as many numericals as you can. That's what I would suggest. So reading theory will give you some amount of insights into what actually is going on, but once you start solving numericals, you will get a good grip on what actually you are aiming at. So that is one thing. Solve as many amount of numericals as you can. That's what I would suggest. And many people usually ask that what books you need to prepare, books you need to use in the GATE examination. I mean, should we use reference books or not? So let me tell you my story about it. That I initially in my college days I used to read reference books. I mean, not for every subject, but some subjects which I liked. Being frank, I did not pick up a reference book for every subject. That is for sure. But the thing is that if GATE examination is a competitive examination and in numerical solving, it tests your numerical solving capability. So try to solve as many numericals as you can, whether it be from the reference book or from the course material that you are using from any of the coaching institutes. So any of the reference material you pick, you start solving numericals from that. As far as electrical is concerned, I would like to say that let's say we pick up subject electrical machines. So there are some good books. Let's say PS Bimra is there, or for power systems, let's say Nagaraj sir and Kothari sir's book is there. So you pick up that book, you refer to the numerical section, let's say solved or unsolved examples, whichever are given, you pick up that and try solving that. Power electronics is also there, in which PS Bimra sir's book is also good. So in that, you pick up numericals, you solve from that. And you don't need to go through every line that exists in the theory, because that is not going to be asked in the examination. The only thing that is going to be asked in the examination is the numerical. So try to solve as much as possible, as many as possible. So keeping on that, it does not mean that you don't need to refer theory at all. You read theory, and ultimately you try to be, a bit. You should be able to bifurcate yourself, that this much amount of time I should be spending in theory reading, and the more amount and maximum time I should spend in solving the numericals. So that is one thing. And one person has asked from the comment section that how important do you feel mock tests are and why? So I would like to answer Karthik that mock tests are really very important. The reason being that unless and until you give the examination, I mean, previously before the GATE examination, you will not know yourself that where do you actually stand in terms of time as well, in terms of accuracy as well. I am not telling you to compare yourself with everyone on a day-to-day basis in every exam. Some exams may go good, some exams may be bad on your side, but it does not mean that you don't prepare for them. Once your mock examination is too good, don't be like too expectant on the GATE examination that I'll be scoring this much amount in GATE also because I scored this much amount in mock, and neither be too depressed as well that I'm getting too low marks in mock examinations, and so I'll not be able to get good marks in GATE. See, it happens on both the sides. Those 3 hours of GATE examination will matter a lot. So you don't worry about all those things that is happening in mock. You just practice yourself, for the gate examination, and this preparation strategy, you will be able to decide that which questions to attempt first. Let's say aptitude you want to attempt first, then you attempt aptitude first, then you want to attempt 1 mark questions, then you attempt 1 mark question, and ultimately you attempt 2 mark questions that are the last ones. So that is one thing. One person, Jitendra Singh, has asked that please share your analysis on test series also. So I'll tell you that analysis on test series is like, see, one exam if I give, I'll tell you that in 2017, I used to give my gate examination. I used to give mock examinations, and I did not used to analyze it. So ultimately, I did not perform that well in gate examination because I did not used to analyze my mistakes. So that is a more important aspect to analyze. And how will you analyze? That is one thing. See, some questions which you have attempted in a correct way, but there may be a better solution for than what you have actually thought about it. So you can actually go on writing that into a different notebook. Let's say you make a different notebook for mock examination, so you write that question into it and a solution and a better solution for it. Make sure that you don't make conceptual mistakes. Mathematical mistakes you can always avoid, but conceptual mistakes, they'll hinder you for a long. So if at all you find any conceptual mistake, just star mark it, go to that topic, go to the theory, read it properly so that you don't make the mistake again. That is one thing that I observed in my preparation, that I improved. That is one thing that you can analyze. Then one person has asked that I'm studying second year and I have 2 years to give gate examination. I have so much time. So which type of standard books can I read? See, brother, actually, it's like I hope that you are from electrical engineering department so that I can recommend you. See, for different subjects, see, there is a subject electrical networks and electrical engineering, right? So it is a kind of aptitude subject. You don't need to pick up every, theory from that. So as I said before some time that you solve as many numericals as possible from every reference book. I mean, whichever reference book you find comfortable with. See, there are hundreds of reference books which are available and which are standard also. It is not like that one author is the book is not that good or this book is not that bad. Every book is good, but which book you feel comfortable with, and that you need to pick it up and start solving numericals from that. And what I would suggest, one more thing is that please, many students have seen that they don't give mock examinations for fear that what if I don't get good marks in mock examination. So you don't be like, okay, I'm not giving mock examination, I'll directly give the gate examination thinking that I'll go score good in that. Even if you score bad in mock examination, don't worry. It's like a preparation for the best. So just go with the flow. So that's it for today. I hope I was helpful for whosoever sees this video, and stay tuned for more tips and subscribe to Unacademy.